This is DJ Boston, and with me in the studio is HighWesthus, a hip-hop duo from Kansas City. In the last block, we heard an old session from Ebony Tusks, but at the beginning of the hour, we heard HighWesthus across the hall with Dojo Doug and the rest of the multimedia staff. How's it going, guys?
Yo, doing well, man. How's it going?
Pretty good. So, can we get started off by how about having you guys introduce yourselves and what you do in HighWesthus?
Okay, for sure. Yeah, I'm the artist HighWesthus, multimedia illustrator, animator, videographer, rapper. Do the beats and production, and then.
My name is John Marzette, also known as John is the New Black. I am a DJ extraordinaire, homie supreme for Sean, a.k.a. HighWesthus.
Represent.
Absolutely, and also a multi-talented musician in any sort of needed way.
And modest.
Better believe it. I'm the
That's all we do.
Right.
Homie Supreme.
Homie Supreme, that's the most important part, actually.
Yeah.
That is the most important part.
Awesome. When did you guys start working together?
Man, way back. We met at school, actually, and college. We did semesters together. And
Shout out to Kansas City Art Institute.
Like 2008.
Yeah.
We met each other, and we just been doing work on and off since then. And, you know, he's always been doing some amazing DJ work here in Kansas and KC. So, you know, he's been helping me out on all of my tours and everything that I've been doing with my music and my rapping.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. Mostly band stuff, though. Like, I was in a lot of local bands and stuff like that around the time when we first met, especially.
Yeah.
But after that, like, he was like, "Yo, I'm doing this thing," and after we linked up, it's just been fun ever since.
Yeah, for real.
That's awesome. So you listed that you were animator, illustrator, videographer.
Yes.
How does that kind of work into your music side of things? Do you see those two artistic realms or those multiple artistic realms kind of like coming together?
Oh, very much so. They constantly overlap. My background is mainly in animation, and so you know, when you're working on your own animation, a lot of that stuff comes naturally at the end. You do your animation, you have to learn how to video edit, you have to learn how to make sound, you have to learn how to composite your things. So at the end of it, I was really fortunate to get to learn all these different things at once, and I'm really happy to have the opportunity now to really get to flex those muscles and do some other experiences. I just finished the video for Lincoln Marshall. I actually just did their Mo Spins video. Oh, nice. That one. I also just finished one for Dominico, his Power Plant video. I have some other ones coming out as well.
That's cool. Yeah, I checked out one of your videos actually involved a cockroach. Waking up, he had turned into a cockroach, and it just kind of goes bad from there. But yeah, did you animate that, I'm assuming?
Yes, yeah. I did. Yeah, I also have a small studio that I do with some friends of mine called Strange Paper. So, you know, we're a multimedia collective, and we do a range of different things from animation and graphic design and printmaking. And so a lot of the homies there helped me out on that piece. But
nice. That's awesome. So you mentioned did something with Lincoln Marshall. Do you notice, like, a lot of Kansas City artists collaborating together, so more so in like hip hop than any other genre?
Yeah, you know, I don't know if I can say it more than any other genre, but I think definitely in the hip hop scene here, there's a lot of respect, and I think open, and a lot of people trying different new things. You know, I think I'm fortunate enough to be able to connect and meet with these awesome people here. You know, like Lincoln Marshall and Dominico and. You know, Louis Rip and other people that have been really awesome about reaching out and just kind of, you know, allowing me to be there with them and do the thing. So, yeah. You know, I would say personally, you know, I've got nothing but love.
Nice.
I can speak on some other genres, that's for sure. As far as like some other artists and other musicians around town, like in Lawrence or Kansas City, I've definitely seen a huge amount of Kansas City, either like if you're in hip hop, if you're a DJ, producer, whatever. A lot of people are normally like going to the same shows at like Riot Room or wherever, and just collaborating, hanging out, being like, "Oh, who produced this or who made that? We should all do shows together or music together or do whatever we need together." And for, say, if you're like an indie band or a heavy band or whatever, you might play shows with a lot of the same bands, but there's not a whole lot of collaboration in terms of let's make music together or something like that. At least that I've seen. Maybe there is, and I just haven't seen it. I'd love to see more. I want everyone making music together, having fun, playing shows together. That would be sweet. But
you can never have enough.
Absolutely. But in hip-hop, there's definitely a lot around town, for sure.
What kind of artists have you guys collaborated with in the past, like especially like local artists?
Well, as far as I've been getting off in the scene. I've been doing mostly video work, and that's gave me a lot of connections. So, like I mentioned, I did the music video for Lincoln Marshall, Dominica. I also did a music video for Far Out from Indie Ground Crew as well. And so far I have some other stuff in the works with Brother News and some other people that are out there. We're still kind of getting it together, but we have some up and coming stuff that we've been dealing with people, and hopefully you'll be hearing a lot of that stuff.
Right on. Cool. But yeah, you guys coming into the studio was really refreshing. We usually have a bunch of alt rock band after alt rock band after alt rock band for live at KJHK.
Right.
And we just have a very few collection of hip hop artists who have come through here. Is that indicative of the Kansas City music scene? Would you feel like there are less hip hop acts, or what do you think the current state of the Kansas City
a great
hip-hop
question
scene?
I like this one. A great question. First of all, shout out to all the rock bands around town who play shows at either the Bottleneck or Replay or Jackpot, and just trying to get your name out there, and then getting a chance to come here and do it, because that's great. I know it's a milestone for you, so shouts out, keep it going, proud of you. All the hip hop people, if you ever get a chance to come up here and spread out, play more shows with rock bands, meet more people who do other stuff. Maybe it is an animator who also happens to make beats, or someone who plays guitar that could do something else for you. Like, the more collaboration and the more people you meet, the better it'll be. But to answer your question, in terms of the music scene around here, and there being a lot of rock bands and not so much a lot of hip hop around here. First of all, shout out to the groups Ebony Tuss and Lincoln Marshall, especially Marty and Approach. Definitely legends around here. Nothing but respect for them. They've done a whole lot for pretty much since we've been alive. They've been doing stuff a long time, so they've opened a lot of doors as far as just like popular local hip hop and where they can play, who they play with, and so on and so forth. But I feel like people are more open to the local bands around here, because you might have a friend who plays a show, like I said, a Bottleneck or whatever. But as far as local hip hop, it's kind of harder to play shows around here without playing with the same people over and over again.
Yeah.
So in Kansas City, it's a lot more spread out because there is a lot more. And in terms of the rock scene, a lot of the bands normally just go straight to the big shows. Like, you might open for Leon Bridges or something like that at a Buzz show. Shout out to Spencer Brown. You might do something else, but I think the hip hop and the rock scene could do a lot more collaborating, a lot more like show mixing, genre mixing, and I think it would give everyone a breath of fresh air and a lot more exposure.
For sure.
I just want everybody to win.
Yeah.
That's it.
Winning is nice.
That's right.
Yeah. So have you noticed, like, the hip-hop game coming up, like, more people getting into it in Kansas City, more venues being booked with hip-hop acts? Have you noticed that happening more, I guess, lately or throughout your career? Or do you think it's kind of just the same frequency as it has been the whole time?
I don't know, I feel like I'm seeing new people come up in KC all the time.
Real talk.
All different kinds of musicians are putting out new stuff. I think it's a great time to be a musician, especially if you're interested in hip-hop and rap in KC, because it's on the come-up, for sure. There's a lot of great legends, like my boy already mentioned, that have been doing great things, but I think also, it's a great time for everyone else who's putting new stuff out. And I feel like every time I search, I'm finding new people who are out there who are making a new mixtape, a new album. It's so accessible today.
True.
Yeah.
I definitely would say that there is a huge emergence of new hip-hop and new people just trying to be like, yeah, sure, like, I made some stuff here, check out my SoundCloud, this, that. There's a whole lot of that, especially around Kansas City, which is great. That's cool. Like, I'm down with anyone expressing themselves, trying something new. And I think, especially, like, for example, like the Riot Room in Kansas City, they've got a whole lot of hip-hop, whole lot of DJs, whole lot of events, stuff like that, and a whole lot of bands, too. A whole lot of bands of every genre. But I think there's starting to be a split, almost, between just, like, yeah, you've got, like, your heavier genre bands, like hardcore, metal, whatever, and they still play shows. Or, like, places like Blind Tiger, where a lot of underground punk shows go down. Shout out to them. And then the other bands, like the indie bands, they normally just like, they play less, like maybe once a month. And it's normally at like a bigger venue, and everyone kind of goes out to there, and then just kind of, they spend their time hanging out in the background and then coming back for like, hey, here's a big show. It's with, who knows, Alabama Shakes and Hembry. Shout out to Hembry. You know, these are all homies, by the way. They're all homies. But yeah, like there's just a less frequency, I'd say. But as far as the hip hop, there's quite a bit. If you want to search for it, you can definitely find it. Right
on. I hope to hear more come through the studio.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That's about all I have for you guys. Do you have anything else you want to say to anybody listening? Some shout-outs, maybe? Spider-Man, who dropped in on your set earlier. Yeah.
Okay. First and foremost, shout-out to all my musician friends in Young Bull. I love you. Shout-out to Ebony Tuss. Shout-out to Lincoln Marshall. Shout-out to Hembry. Shout-out to Spencer Brown. Love you all. Keep doing it. Shout-out to anyone who wants to be a musician, like we mentioned. Do it. Shout out to anyone who even doesn't know how to play an instrument. You can help anyone who does, or help yourself. Please express yourself. I want you to win. I want everyone to feel awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, I do a quick shout out. Quick shout out to my friends over at Strange Paper. Appreciate everything you all do. Appreciate sending out some shots to my girl Lucy, who's listening now. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, that's great. Thank you, KJHK, for having us out, and everyone that's been listening also to us now and before. Do the thing.
Nice.
Especially you, Spider-Man. We know you were here with us from the start, and just, man, we'd be nothing without you, man. This one really goes out to you.
Oh, yeah.
For real.
Awesome. Well, this has been HighWesthus here in the studio. You can check out more from them at HighWesthus.com. But yeah, tune in next week, same time, 7 o'clock for Live at KJHK. We'll have another live awesome band for you. You can also check out all these sessions are filmed and put together and put on our YouTube page, Live at KJHK, as well as our main webpage, kjhk.org. Without further ado, I think I'll pass it on to DJ Shane Train for input-output, but this has been Live at KJHK. Keep it locked.